Hello, everyone. This is Brother Benson, and I'm joined with my good friend here, Miguda. Miguda, habari gani? Hello, Miguda. Okay, ni kama Miguda ni party. Wacha kwanza tuangalie ni nini haswa kinatendeka kule katika katika mtandao wa jamii, tuone ni jambo gani. Miguda, uko sawa? Okay, sawa sawa, wacha tumjaribu. All right. On the internet today, especially the people of internet, I just want to tell you what is trending today. Ruto urges you to seek honest friends amid abduction claims. Leo hii Ruto amesema yeye akiwa pale Siaya. Yes, how are you doing?
I'm good. And you? How are you doing?
Niko salama. Siku yako imekuwa vipi?
Siku yangu imekuwa vyema, nashukuru Mola. Labda za kwako.
Mimi niko vizuri. Tunapambana na hali ya maisha na vile vile ni kutafuta riziki. Kumbuka jana nilikuambia jambo moja. Sijui kama ulienda ukafanyia utafiti ukajua kwamba riziki ni kukosa au kupata, zote riziki.
Riziki ni kukosa au kupata, sasa tunatafuta riziki.
Sasa ukienda kutafuta na ukose, bado tutasema kwamba ulikuwa umeenda kutafuta riziki. Hivyo ndio maisha kipo, unaweza pata ama ukose. Ndio hiyo sasa. Uko vizuri lakini?
Niko vizuri sana.
Okay, asante sana. Tunangoja mwenzetu msimamo kutoka kule jijini Mombasa, tuone venye mambo lipo. Ebu wacha tuende, let us go on the trending to see what is trending on the internet, so that we can be at par with the rest of the Kenyans. Yeah. And okay, this is what President William Ruto says on the trending. Ruto urges Tuju to seek honest friends amid abduction claims. Alikuwa kule Siaya na akasema kwamba Tuju atafute marafiki wa kweli, awachane na hii watu wengine. Wewe kwako unasema vipi?
Siasa ni noma bro, siasa ni kitu. No, siasa unajua mwanasiasa yeye kama kuna kitu anaweza chukua advantage. Hiyo ndio anatumia. Kwa mfano acha nikwambie. Unapata kwamba watu walijua kwamba mambo na River Yala ilikuwa ya Matiang'i. Hata kama hapo amefanya hiyo maneno na lakini wananchi wanajua hivyo. Mimi kama mwanasiasa sina jukumu ya kubadilisha kitu watu wajui. Mimi kazi yangu ni kuendeleza tu hiyo propaganda. Yule mtu wa River Yala. Sasa unapata mtu kama Tuju pengine huwezi jua kwamba Ruto alikuwa anataka hiyo shamba yake. Alafu sasa juu hizo sarakasi zote fanyika, kuna wale sasa anataka advantage kwamba kama angekuwa rafiki mzuri, angekuwa na rafiki kama sisi, angeteseka hivyo. Sasa unajua mwanasiasa ni mtu mwingine noma sana.
Na unajua kitu ambacho kinanishangaza sana na rais ni kwamba hajazungumzia yale ambayo yanatokea katika ile hoteli ya Tuju, lakini anazungumzia yale ambayo yamefanyika na watu wa opposition, kwa sababu unakumbuka kwamba Kalonzo Musyoka pale alikuwa ni kama wakili wa Tuju leo wakati walikuwa pale kotini, lakini anazungumzia hayo abduction na hayo mambo yote, lakini mambo ya shamba hajazungumzia hata kidogo.
Kalonzo Musyoka sasa nakwambia hii siasa yani kama ni mwizi wa shamba na ukiniambia mimi ni mwizi wa shamba sasa nachukua tu kitu kingine ambaye nasema hapana, mimi si mwizi wa shamba, mimi ni mkulima niko na hiki. Sasa unaelewa, hata pengine kama mimi nimeteka mtu nyara, hapana, Huyu jamaa that is self abduction. That is self abduction. Sasa
Yeah.
siasa ni kitu kingine, yani ni kitu kingine, yani you don't speak the truth.
Yeah, like it is about like playing with the psychology. Oh yeah.
Kwa mfano ile mambo ya Ruto kusema ati yeye ni mwizi. Hataki kusema ati yeye si mwizi. Anasema tu kuna mwizi mwingine hapa kuniliko. na huyu mwizi mwingine pia akiambiwa yeye ni mwizi, hataki kujibu ati yeye si mwizi. Anasema hapana, mimi si mwizi. Huyu jamaa anaongea mambo ya utoto. So you understand? No one is ready to admit the accusation. They are just there to accuse each other.
Okay, thank you so much. Now, there's this part of Orengo that we need to speak about. Today, Orengo was, Ruto and Orengo unite for a 1 Kenya shillings, 1 billion Usengepaya groundbreaking. You know, Orengo is one of those, especially leaders who will always adhere to the constitution of Kenya. Remember, immediately after election, Orengo was the only member of parliament, elected member, especially from ODM, who attended William Ruto's during the time they were not, the broad-based government was not there. Remember? And majority of leaders, especially from Siaya, did not attend the first meeting that Ruto had in Siaya County. Orengo really attended that. And Orengo attended that meeting in the capacity that he's a governor, because the constitution allows him or give him that provision, especially when the head of state is visiting. Today also, despite the fact that they have political differences with the president, but Orengo was today in the meeting, and he even had an opportunity to address the public, especially the supporters, I would say the supporters of broad-based government. And he said very well that we are doing different politics. What can you say about Orengo, especially before the broad-based government and after the broad-based government right now? He has maintained that when the head of state is visiting, especially when it comes to development, he doesn't shy away from attending those meetings. Hello, Miguda. All right. Let me wait for Miguda. I think he has like a problem. But as I was saying earlier about James Orengo, if you are very, very, very keen, before the broad-based government, when majority of the ODM leaders or ODM members, before the handshake of President William Ruto and the late Raila Amolo Odinga, Orengo was the governor who actually welcomed the president during those days, where ODM members, especially including even people like Atandi, all the members, elected members in this region, did not attend, but Orengo attended. Miguda, are you back? Yeah, and today also Orengo.
Yeah, I'm back. Allow me to respond to that issue of Orengo.
Yeah.
What I know, and it's good that we have discussed this issue before. Remember, when there was no broad-based government, Orengo actually was in his statement that when Ruto went to Siaya, he actually welcomed him, and he stated very clearly that it is what we call coordination, a relationship between the county and the national government, that they have to work constitutionally. And today, they were not in good terms. Even after the party has made decision to work with the Ruto, but you find Orengo also as sincere that he has his own politics. In his own politics, he's playing the politics that he doesn't subscribe to Ruto's school of thoughts.
Yeah.
But he insisted that as a governor, he has that constitutional duty to receive the president. To me, he has been consistent on that. Yeah, so there's nothing wrong. He has been consistent. Whether he's in with the government or not, but he's always present there to welcome the president.
Yeah, and this is what he said. Ruto, this is Orengo, I quote him. Ruto, we welcome you to Siaya as the president of Kenya. Please visit Siaya and keep keep coming back. I have my own politics, but I pray you return to Siaya. That is what James Orengo said. But also, you can see there's a photo, a video that is going around, especially when majority of young people were shouting. Some of them were praising Orengo, and some of them were shouting. But there's something that really we need to discuss, Miguda, here. And you know, I think this is something that even the voters themselves and the leaders, they should tell the wananchi, you know, especially uh, um, when politics, we should not be carried away with the emotions of politics. I'm telling you, or not that I'm supporting Orengo, but I'm supporting any leader who comes from, especially from the lake. Until you lose that leader is when you will know how important that leader is. You know, sometimes Orengo might be having these political differences, and you might say that Orengo is not bringing any development to Siaya. And if you look at the devolution, none of the governors, especially including even those who are working with the president, has done justice with the devolution. Yeah, we might have political differences, but one thing that you have to appreciate, the resources and human resources that you have as a community. Orengo is a very resourceful person in the Luo community, and the political differences should not make, especially the young people and the politician, to disrespect Orengo. At some point, you will need him. That is my thought as a person. I don't know whether I'm right, Mr. Miguda. Yeah, that is what I think. Because at the end of the day, the politics will come and go. And these factions that we usually see when people are having politics, look at the political history, how they've switched sides. Remember, there were days that President William Ruto was not a friend of the Luo people, you know, due to political differences, you know. But today, because of political, the interest has emerged, as come, you know, yeah, they share the same interest and the same vision. Is a good person right now, but a good person in politics. The same way, time is going to come. These are not permanent, you know. Remember, there's something that will come out of it. Yeah, politics will come and go, but remember that the people, the leaders that you have, especially even in all regions, do not at any point try to disrespect any leader that is coming from your region just because of political differences, because you will need them at some point. So that is what I think. Miguda, how are you doing?
Okay, I just want to think along what you are saying, because to me, what I've learned that you don't need to push too hard
Yeah.
when as a politician, because we find that at the end of the day, sometimes we come together, sometimes we agree. Friends becomes enemies, enemies becomes friends at one point in life. So you need just to engage people on issue-based politics, whereby you discuss issues, agenda, what you're going to do with the people. But going personality is not making sense, because at the end of the day, you people must come together sometimes and work
Yeah.
together. It is not. It is always not impossible in politics. So just like you have said, Orengo is trying to play cool, and when today I saw him there, I also believe that we can, because today he present his case to the people that mimi niko na siasa yangu, lakini niko na jukumu ya kukaribisha rais Siaya. So unaelewa vitu kama hizo. So those are things that you need to be very sensitive. And remember, even Ruto has never attacked Orengo. Ruto has been dealing with Gachagua for past. What I understand, there's how you, I think politicians should play their politics issue based, because one day you'll come and be in the same camp, and so I don't know, but remember they have been doing this before.
Yeah.
And remember, but they usually do come and work together. So it has been a norm in this country. But I just want to say that as a junior politician, for instance, the people who are lieutenants for Ruto and Gachagua, they should sometimes allow these people to engage themselves, but they should try to make debate to be issue-based debate among the people. Let them not follow what the leaders try to mislead the public.
Okay, for instance, let us just be very, very, because like we look at the entire Luo Nyanza as we speak today. We have Siaya County, Kisumu County, Homa Bay, Migori, and we have four, the Lake region. Yeah, we have four counties, right? We have Siaya, Migori,
Yeah.
Kisumu.
The Luo are four, but remember there are some two inside, Kisii and
Yes.
Nyamira.
Yeah, that's yeah. So I'm talking about the lake politician. Ever since, let's say that ever since the devolution came into existence, especially we know right now Siaya has had like Orengo is the second governor of Siaya. We had Rasanga who went for 2 terms. Was there much achieved under Rasanga that you can point
That's
out?
that's a very good question. You know, Robinson, sometimes
Mm.
politics is very interesting because the Rasanga did nothing.
Yeah,
And they're saying Orengo is not working. So the question is, Rasanga, who was not working, achieved his 2 term,
yeah.
but Orengo, who is not working, they want him to go home. I don't see it is possible. That's why
Oh,
sometimes you find that it's about politics, not even development. It's
mm,
about your position. Whom do you
mm,
support? Who are you aligning with? If you align with me, we'll
mm.
give you 2 term. And even sometimes the voters don't focus on someone's ability to work.
You see, Miguda, something that we have to agree here. The people who have been let down, especially even in these our counties, actually, they are not the leaders. The leaders have never been let down. The people who should be blamed for everything is uh, are are the voters themselves, because you're given an opportunity to vote for people who you feel could bring change into the county. But majority of these governors, if you look into it um, uh, and do great analysis on it, the governors were not elected that they were performance, but the governors were elected because the party that had influence on those areas. For instance, I'm just being very, very, very we've spoken about Rasanga. The other day, let's come to Homa Bay, where we from the look of things, is that Homa Bay is doing fine. Yeah, and there are so many achievements. But the other day, the governor did not appear before the park committee. And if you listen to what the senator, the chair of the park, and the senator for Homa Bay, there are some issues that he raised about the ghost workers, about the money that was allocated and has not been used. There's nothing that has taken place. But we hype it and say that, okay, this is what is happening. The other day, we talked about Migori. There was a time when Migori, there was no electricity in the hospital. There was a time when there was no water in the hospital. But all this are happening in the pretext, or in the broad-based government. We are in the broad-based government and we are bringing development. Remember, even like recently, the bridge, I don't know, you can let us know whether there's something that has been done on the bridge until we speak right now, whether there's construction or repairs that has taken place in those bridges. So at the end of the day, this is what is it. It is not who is in the broad-based government or who is not in the broad-based government, but it's about the system that has been put in place, especially to deliver services to people. Go to Busia, you will know the challenges that they have, yet they say they're in broad-based government. It is not a matter of broad-based government. It is a matter of the leadership, or the people that we put on the leadership, that are going to lead people and bring in policies that matters. That is the baseline. It's not about the broad-based, it's not about the united opposition, it's about the particular individuals that you give an opportunity to serve. If you give somebody who is not capable of serving, then there's nothing that is going to be delivered. That's what I think.
I know usually discuss that issue, but it is true. Sometimes usually bring it about is always about the people who are elected leaders. I had to agree with you because you find out that there are some leaders who actually did nothing for the last 5 years. Then they are being given opportunity for second term, maybe because it's coming from my clan or my region, or because it's giving me penny, such things, and so on and so forth. So I want to agree with you that today it is true that is the people who are letting us down, not the other way around.
Yeah, that is true, and they keep on. I don't know when people will get it right, especially when it comes to electing of leaders. I don't know when people are going to get it right. It is they've made mistake. They each and every electioneering, or each and every time they are having election, they usually make mistake. And how do they make mistake? One of them, manipulation. The politician has a way of manipulating the voters, um, um like like uh, I don't know, and whip their emotions. Like right now, look at what is happening in the field right now. We are going to discuss about it, especially um on what is happening, especially with the Tuju. For instance, Miguda, me and you know that even the hardest criminal, if you are sick, I've never seen a situation whereby the medical staff would come into a cell to check on a patient. I've seen several locations whereby even the criminal, a hardest criminal, they will be taken to the hospital under tight security. It has always happened, and that's why we are talking about system. Yeah. Yeah. And how I wish that the president would have talked about that, as he says that, okay, Tuju is not having honest friend. Yes, he doesn't have honest friend, but how do you let somebody seek a medical attention on the police cells? I saw that in the internet going around. Miguda, what do you think about that?
That's a very good observation because you find out that even if there was, and how they handle the situation
Mhm.
can raise some questions.
Yeah.
Because if the president is doing about him not having good friends or good companies,
Yeah.
but he could have been also giving direction, or the state at large could have been giving him humanly treatment by allowing him to go to hospital
Yeah.
and get all the facilities. Because someone like Toju, in his capacity, is someone who is used to private facilities
Mhm.
and enjoying one of the best medication.
Mhm.
So even if you are in the jail and you are someone of that caliber, you usually get the better treatment. So if that is the case, then why can't they give him better treatment? If
Yeah.
even if that he is having bad companies, because now the companies does not handle the situation. It's the state that handles the situation. So that's very true, because how you handle the situation raises a lot of question.
Yeah.
Are you genuine, you yourself? That's what we concern, because if you are genuine, you could be giving him human treatment. Because even if you have someone who has committed murder, someone who has been convicted,
Mhm.
majorly they are being taken to hospital, not the other way around. The
Yeah.
doc
Yes.
medics not go to prison.
Yeah, they don't, and because the constitution gives you that an opportunity to seek medical attention. And how many times have we seen, especially if somebody is arrested and they've taken to the hospital, you will see they are handcuffed in the bed, and the tight security, because they don't. But like, those are some of the things that provision of that constitutions provide. So the things are working other way around, and that's why I'm urging, the leaders, maybe even including the president. He has the powers, especially it cannot happen to Rafael Tuju, and this is something that is on the news, and the president talking about the president Tuju is having he doesn't have good friends, but his constitutional rights, especially, is universal, whether you have good friends or bad friends. In a situation whereby you're taken to the hospital, they ought to have taken him to the hospital facility under tight security, because maybe is somebody under what, under arrest, so that is something that we have to look at. Let me take this opportunity to thank Paul to say hi to him, and Judith too. I can see Judith is here with us. So, those are some of the things that we are raising, especially to the voters, that they should know. We are not stopping you from supporting President William Ruto. You have a right to do that because the Constitution of Kenya allow freedom of association. But also, we are also not stopping you from supporting opposition. But what we are saying, that for us to have a country that the system is working, whether you are in broad-based government or you're not in broad-based government, the system has to work, and the law should not be suspended, especially because maybe you're not aligned to the government, or maybe you're not supporting the government, or you have bad friends. The Constitution should always play his part. Migoda, that is my thought.
Yeah, I agree with you, because you find out that there's a provisions
Yeah.
whereby access to medical facilities and medication
Yeah.
guaranteed to everyone. When the Constitution talks about everyone, including the people in the prison, the people under police custody, the people who are freely, the politicians, the class, irrespective of your class. So there's no can say maybe someone has got bad companies who cannot give him correct direction. But at the same time, the way you handle or the way you resolve situations is next to impossible. So I think we should just align with the constitution provision, not all those side issues. Like I've told you, it's about side shows, it's about who is who, because there are real issues. We know that there are people who are stealing land, there are people who are stealing from coffers, but they don't want to engage us. They just want to live at that pot. You thief, you thief, you
Yeah.
thief, you thief, but they don't want to delve into it. And if someone is, for instance, if someone has impregnated those young women and have murdered them, it could be there them open case for that guy, but they're not ready to open cases. Just a matter of exchange of words in the public. That's why I told politics is not because if someone has done such, that is a criminal offense. Why can't they open for him the suit so they can start investigation? It ends at rallies. That's what I know. Most of those things ends at rallies.
Okay, and
They're
and
not substantive.
and there's also something that is happening, and Paulo is asking a very good question. I don't understand which friends the president refers to, because I saw PLO Lumumba there, and I think he's Tuju's a relative. Yes, and how do you qualify that this is a good friend? How do you? And this is also what is happening in the political field right now, because you find that those who are supporting in the united opposition, they would say our president is bad. At the same time, the president will say those are in uh, our, government are bad. But Miguda, there's something also that I need to weigh in your thoughts. There's something here that, and I'm still insisting whether Orengo makes it back to the governorship of Siaya or he doesn't make it back. There's one constant issue that will solve these issues that we have: the system. Emotions doesn't solve anything, or political euphoria doesn't. What works is about the system. We have countries that are established that have political differences, but the system is usually working. Yeah. So do not imagine by taking Orengo home, yeah, and bringing somebody who is aligned to your thoughts, or is going to solve the issues of CI, or issues on this Summer Bay, because they do not have mechanism system. Corruption, tenders are given to these people. So it's not going to solve. If it was supposed to solve, Rasanga was a very, very close to Baba and President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. What happened? So the system in place has not been put in place to work. If the system were working today, then nobody would have even be complaining. Yeah.
Okay, let me respond to that question first. What I want to tell you based on the way we have discussed that, the problem is the electorates.
Yeah.
In the politics of Sia County, what I know is that Orengo will get a comeback. That's a sure bet, because it's more of a local. And even if you look at the opponent Nicholas Gombo is coming from Rarieda. And
Mm,
Rarieda, the people who are on the grassroots are pro Orengo. At the same time, Rarieda people, they are minority in that county.
mhm,
They're minority. I don't think they can be voted. You Orengo, people knew that Raila, no one knew Raila was going to die, and
mm,
people psychologically prepared Orengo to be a two-term governor. And you
mhm,
got Orengo is coming from the larger Ugenya, and
mhm,
Ugenya people, this is the first time they're having governor. How do you let a governor to go outside Ugenya, and you allow other people to come in? So they could have had someone from Alego Usonga could be a very competitive, but the fact that it's very local, the
mhm,
people of Uganda the other day, when Gombo gave them 50 shillings, they said, if it is 50 shillings. But let me tell you one thing of Robinson.
mm,
The local politics is, that's where Orengo swims. Because right now, no one has attempted to impeach him. He got the all MCS, he got the speaker. You understand? He got
mhm,
the people. Orengo will get a second term, I can assure you. And
mm,
towards election, I think Orengo will make decision, but if governorship, I'm sure Orengo will get a second term. Whether so, the issue here is we will talk about the system.
mm.
The system itself sometimes generates leaders who are not together
Yeah,
with the people.
yeah.
It generates leaders who are not
Mm,
development oriented.
mm,
And like I've told the issue of Orengo, Orengo know that Orengo is a good leader who can develop an area, but
mm,
because of the locality of the nature of that politics, where Ugenya people, this is the first time they're having a governor. So they're going to defend their governorship. They're going to defend this. No, in Siaya is unlike Migori, Kisumu, and Homa Bay. In Siaya is local. The
Local.
local, like if you go to Ugenya and Ugonja, you find the Ugenya people speaking Ugenya, that accent. And
Mm,
if you go to Alego Songa, you find the Alego people, very local people. So it's a local politics whereby even the capital of the county, the Siaya, is in Alego Songa, the Alego people. So if you
mm,
look at the Ugenya and the larger Lego,
mm,
are going to make it. And remember, right now, the speaker also has gone to the minority. The speaker has been there, George Okode.
mm,
Remember, he has been there during the reign of the previous governor. Right now, he's going with Orengo. And
mm,
these local MCAs, the
mm.
local elders, the local leaders, the
Yeah.
Anglican, the
Mhm,
people who have been opposing Robert's government, those church leaders, they're coming from Siaya.
mhm.
So I'm certain sure that Orengo will get his second term. That one is not something that I can dismiss.
Okay, thank you so much. And this is what Paulo is telling us. Today in Siaya, Wandai and Badi, they had no speech because Orengo appeared at the presidential event and they were used to saying Orengo must go. And I was just reading another article. I don't know how true is it, Miguda, that the much expectation that was expected, especially from Mbadi and Wandai, is they're not doing as expected. There is that their influence is not so much big as it was expected because like they were like the mouthpiece of the president in the Luo Nyanza. Even Raymond Omolo of UDA is doing better than the two of them, despite the fact that they have those ministerial posts. So I don't know how true that could be, but I was reading this from one of the um, in the Facebook is from Homa Bay, so he was analyzing that. I don't know how true that one could be. What is your suggestion?
Orengo and no, Mbadi and Wandai,
Mm,
they were appointed, but they have forgotten the people.
mhm,
They have forgotten the relationship between them and the electorates. They
mm,
went to serve the master.
mhm.
And even the master yesterday, but one, reminded them that they should use common sense because they should know that they should know. You understand what I'm saying? He said
Yeah.
in Luo. I don't
Mhm,
want to bring it here, but so
mm,
even the masters realize that they are selfish.
mhm.
They are people who are egocentric, whereby they believe that it's only them, not the people. So they are being told, but remember the people. You don't eat alone. What about your people? And
Yes.
they have been Oreng has been their enemy. They have
Mm,
been calling him names all over,
yeah.
not trying to project what they're doing. So when Orengo came and appeared, they had nothing to say because now the agenda was there. Instead, people are pushing them that, Bana, you should be sharing with your kinsmen. Don't eat alone. and that's the reality. Even if you look at the ground, people are complaining that these people, what's up? We are the CS for finance, but they're not. There's no money in our pockets. You are the energy CS, but there's no power. That's why we want power. So maybe once Kenya power. So you understand. So it's something that they have been spotted. What I can say, they have been spotted. They have been spotted, and right now the people are aware that actually when the boss knows that they are people.
Okay, thank you so much. Miguda, we know for quite some times, especially, I think is now 1 to 2, 10 to, amazing. I would say that at the maximum is 2 weeks now, ever since the trade of insults between the president and the united opposition leaders. And the president has continued to go on with the political insult, especially to the opposition leader. Yesterday, president called them foolish. And when you look at this is happening, let me play one clip, then we can respond. And who will be winning on this? Because, and how is this one going to shape especially politics, when now president, if you look at him launching the projects, you find that at the rallies or at the time of launching this project, you find that the insults of other politicians during the speeches whereby he says what he has done, but the insult of the opposition leaders, is on a higher note, and the opposition leader are not backing down, especially Rigathi Gachagua and president. Who is going to win this? Let me just play one of these, then you can react to it.
I am a very proud farmer. In my farm, I produce hapa kwenda mbele from Siaya. Hapa kwenda mbele tutakuwa na nafasi ya ajira ya kila siku ya vijana 5,000 wa hapa Siaya. Mnasema tuendelee ama tuendelee? Tuendelee ama tuendelee? Sikizeni bwana. Mimi nikimaliza, mimi nawauliza watu wa Siaya, na waomba kwa unyenyekevu tukubaliane, tutembee pamoja, ndio tuondoe siasa ya chuki, ndio tumalize siasa ya ukabila, ndio tumalize siasa ya ubaguzi. Tuungane, tukae pamoja. Tumekubaliana, tunaunganisha chama ya UDA na chama ya ODM, tutengeneze broad base, tuunde serikali mwaka ujao. Mimi nawauliza watu wa Siaya, munasema tuungane ama tutengane? Tuungane ama tutengane? Wala wanasema tuungane, nione kwa mkono. Tuungane, 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 tuungane. Bwana, munasema tuungane ndio tujenge Kenya, ndio tuende pamoja. Kuna mafala wengine wanataka kutugawanya. Mnajua ule mtu ya pepo ya ukabila anaitwa Kachieta? Mnamjua huyo? Huyo mtu ni bure zaidi. Mtu kasia. Sijui kama tunaelewana. Tuko pamoja? Mtu ya kuendeza ukabila, mtu ya kulete chuki kwa Wakenya. Mimi nawaambia, unajua wale jamaa wanajaribu ati kusema William Ruto, sijui William Ruto, sijui nini. Hata wanasema, sikizeni bwana, ati wanasema William Ruto sijui ako na shamba wapi, sijui ako na shamba wapi, sijui ako na nini. Mimi nataka niwaeleze, mimi ni mkulima, si namna hiyo? And I am a very proud farmer. In my farm, I produce eggs, I produce milk, I produce eggs every day, I produce milk every day, I produce maize every year. Hawa jamaa, kwanza kuna mmoja anatoka huko Kitale, shamba yake, ng'ombe yake ilikufa kwa sababu ya kupe. Mtu bure, shamba yake ameshindwa kulima, anakodesha kwa watu wanapanda nyasi, sijui wanapanda nini. Mwingine huko ako na shamba, hana 1 bush ya kahawa, hana 1 bush ya chai, hana kuku, hana sijui ng'ombe, hata hana kondoo. Is growing nothing. Huyo mtu nilimkuta ule Kachieta. Uhuru alimpeleka kotini kwa sababu ya kuiba mali ya wananchi. Nikampatia nafasi, akaenda akakuwa mwizi ya mambo ya kahawa, akaenda kuungana na cartel. Akaenda huko ati anapigana na pombe, akakuwa extortionist kwa wale wafanyabiashara. Akatoka hapo, akaenda akaiba mali ya ndugu yake. Bibi ya ndugu yake wanahangaika, watoto wa ndugu yake wanahangaika, na yeye anajaribu kutumia kifua to intimidate them. Ameenda mpaka akaua wasichana, alafu anataka kutuambia ataongoza Kenya. Mtu kumbavu kama hiyo anaweza kuongoza taifa ya nani? Mwingine ameenda akaiba shamba ya NYS. Kwa hiyo shamba hata kama ameiba, hapandi chochote, hafanyi chochote, he is contributing nothing. Nyinyi mnanielewa? Sasa mimi nawauliza, these people, you are not organized in your own place. Shamba yenu hakuna kitu. You cannot organize your farm. You cannot organize your family. You want to tell us you are going to organize Kenya. Which Kenya are you going to organize? Hawa watu wako na mbinu ya organize anything. These people are useless. Hawa watu ni bure. Ni bure. Ni bure. Ni bure sana. Ama namna gani bwana? Sasa mimi nawauliza. Si Kenya nimepanga uchumi nikisaidiwa na huyu Mbadi. Si inflation imerudi chini. Si exchange rate imerudi chini. Si interest rate imerudi chini. Si tumeongeza pesa yetu ya kigeni. Ni kweli ama si kweli? Si tumepanga mambo yetu ya savings. Sasa tumefanya double ile savings tulikuwa naye. Si Kenya inasonga mbele. Si sasa tumejenga reli. Si mimi nilikuwa hapa Kisumu juzi. Ile reli ilikuwa imekwama Naivasha. Si sasa tuko na pesa ya kusukuma ikuje Kisumu, ipitie hapa Siaya, iende Malaba, ipitie Busia, iende Kampala, iende mpaka Kasese. My friends, if you do not have the...
All right. Hey, Be Good. Thank you so much for joining, and everyone who is joining. This is Brother Benson. You can always subscribe to the channel. So that is President William Ruto. And if you're very keen, Amiguda, you'd notice that the narrative of 2022 that President was using during when he was in central Kenya is the same narrative that President is using. Like, if you're very keen, President came to launch, but the attack was on was attacking some other his competitors, So when you look at this war, who do you think is going to win on this, especially when President launch? And another thing that I realized with the President, he said that tumetengeneza reli ya Kisumu, lakini I don't know whether President usually visits those his remarks and have a review on them. But generally speaking, Mr. Miguda, what is your take on what is happening, especially the President on going to attack the opposition leaders, insulting with those names, Mafala, Wajinga, wataweza nini Kenya, and all that? What is your take on that? Is that the politics that we are going to see 2027? And if it goes this way, who do you think is going to win between him and the opposition?
There are people who are well known to do those stuffs in this country. There are people who are well known how to abuse people. In ODM, we used to have people like Junet. They used to harass Ruto, where Ruto was in the other side. Yeah. And right now, from the look of things, I think Gachagua has instant comebacks. If you look at Gachagua has got so instant comebacks. Because the other day, Ruto said that Niko Kadi. Gachagua tells Ruto that Uko Kadi, yo Kadi, uko nani, red card. So you understand. So this politics is just about comebacks. Who got the hottest comeback?
Yeah. So but how is this one going to shape the politics going forward, especially from the people?
That's not where I'm going. So it's like I told you the other day that Ruto was driving a narrative that amuna agenda, amuna sera, amuna mpango. The opposition fall into that trap. They started to say, okay, our agenda is William Ruto. Now they started personal politics. Now Ruto is now respond to them personal politics because he has reduced their politics from issue based to personality. You understand?
Yes.
So they are falling to Ruto's trap, and now they're engaging, exchanging, and that's what Ruto also wanted. That let us go personality, because when it comes to issue-based politics, sometimes it can be alleged to have stolen something, which is true. Sometimes it can be alleged of maybe perpetrating the killing of the Gen Z.
Yeah.
Maybe can be alleged of interfering in the independence of judiciary. So I don't want to engage into those allegations. Just want them to go to personality, because personality, if you tell me that I have a big stomach, I have a big head, so what? You can't take me to court and charge me because I'm having a big stomach or a big head. But if you accuse me or allege me that I've stolen public money, I can be charged in a court of law. You understand?
Yeah.
So maybe it's more of they just want to go personal politics so that you can avoid many accountabilities. I believe so.
Oh, okay. Let's also listen to one of this one also.
An apparent escalation of low-road political discourse, President William Ruto today fired a fresh barrage of insults on opposition leaders, calling them foolish and useless, and referring to a male opposition leader as an aspirant for the position of the county woman representative. Speaking at the campaign rallies in Migori and Homa Bay counties today, President Ruto also accused his former deputy, Rigathi Gachagua, of murdering a blogger, asking the former DP to apologize to the family of the slain blogger. As Emmanuel Toh now reports, the president maintains that he will not back down on attacks, saying that the opposition started it.
He picked up from where he left over the weekend, sustaining his verbal onslaught with a fresh barrage of insults against the united opposition leaders.
Mkiona ule Kachieta na ule mwingine ako na kichwa kubwa, tumbo hata sijui nini, na ule mwingine sijui anataka Quran kiti ya women rep sijui ama ni gani. Mimi nauliza nyinyi, hawa watu ni wa kushindana na sisi hawa? Na hiyo kikundi inaitwa useless opposition, sijui alternative nothing. Hawana agenda, hawana mpango.
The president then trained his guns on his former deputy, Rigathi Gachagua.
Kwenda rudisha kwanza mali ya ndugu yako, warudishie wajane na warudishie mayatima. Wewe kwanza uwaulize, uombe msamaha wale wasichana uliwaua, uende utafute familia zao kabla hujakuja kutuongelesha kama Kenya. Kiongozi yeyote katika Kenya hii ambaye lugha yake bado ni nyinyi Wajaluo, nyinyi wa Kalenjin, nyinyi wa Kikuyu, nyinyi sijui wa Kuria, nyinyi sijui, huyo ni kiongozi kumbafu. Huyo ni kumbafu ya mwisho.
The president's latest torrent comes days after the clergy called for a ceasefire, terming the president's sentiments as unpresidential and oppositions as uncouth and unbecoming. President Ruto is, however, sticking to his guns.
Na mimi sitarudi nyuma. Hawa watu wa makelele na chuki na sijui ukabila na nini, hawa nitawamalizia asubuhi, haiwezi kufika breakfast, nitamalizana na hawa. Nyanza hoye!
The head of state is currently on a tour of the Nyanza stronghold.
All right, we good. You heard about that, and now that is the head of state in the rallies, especially in Nyanza, and trading of insults to the opposition and all that. So when we are looking at it, and you look at even the religious leaders talked about it. And he said that he's not backing down on it because the united opposition started it. So where will this one end, or we are going to see more of this? Yep. Miguda. All right, we are still waiting for Miguda. So this is to me, this is my take, especially. It is politics, and the politics of our country is about emotion. So, and the politicians have learned that the only way that you can get following is to evoke the emotion of the people. And talking about the murdering of the blogger that president is talking about, I think like if it is indeed true that Rigathi or whoever, I don't know, if it is alleged that he did murder that blogger, then the president has the power to let the authorities to initiate investigation, and the compensation should be done. But I can remember the same, I think like she's talking about the lady. I can remember there was a video that going around that the president actually called the mother and sent his condolences and said to the mother how the lady was, somebody who was working with him. And when he got into power, those are some of the things that you would initiate. And, you know, I don't know how it is going to work. Miguda, what do you think? Okay, that is politics of the day, but that's how politics works. But we will be monitoring and you know, watching and see who is going to win at the end of the day, and how is this one going to bring votes, especially for the president. And remember, president is also when it comes to politics, he knows what to say and when and where to say it. I do not think, for me, if the president was in the central, he would say that. But the president also is very keen. I can remember in 2022, if you were very keen, when the president was campaigning during the 2022 general election, if you go with those clips, you will find that the president did not attack Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta until the last minute. And the last attack that he had on the president, Uhuru, was, where usiwe watoto wangu, eri unini. Unaona ile mambo. So president is very tactical and very calculative, especially in politics. And as Miguda said earlier, how is the opposition how are they going to deal with it so that they should not fall in traps? So they should remain on course and be issue-based. Because at the end of the day, if you are going to engage the president on trade and insult, and yet you're not telling the country, especially, what you want to do, so as they might be trading all this, the opposition also should come up with the strategies on how are they going to engage the president, especially how is he going to engage the president, especially when it comes to the issue-based versus the political insult, and how are they going to get, and how are they going to make their followers to understand that this is not the kind of politics that we want to do, because that one is running away from real issues. Even the opposition now, they will be running away from real issues. They will not be, instead of telling Kenyans what they want to do, they will rebattling the president, and that one is going to lower the bar, especially when it comes to politics of our country. Yes, Miguda.
Okay, let me come in first. Let me also say that Ruto is very tactful.
Yeah,
I agree with you, because even if you look at his visit, he targets. He doesn't visit the towns. He targets the villages. He's going to the villages. Like he's going to the village in Nyanza. He goes to the villages and meet the people at the village level. And very tactful. He's going per constituencies, but going to where people are. He doesn't consider in the town center. And even when he commissions any project, he targets like health, the local people, the roads that serves most of the people in that region. So in terms of tactful, I can say in driving narrative, is ahead. Moving tactfully is ahead. The opposition right now should know how to be self-made, whereby they have their own narrative and they also have their own movements, how they can move to the part of the. Remember, Ruto is moving even to the Mount Kenya, but opposition has not gone to Nyanza. Remember, have you seen that one? So they should also have a tactful way of moving in roads where Ruto have a strong base. And in terms of utterances, he knows, he has been in this field for quite a long time, and he has played with the enigma, the greatest of all time. Raila Odinga has been his opponent, remember? And Raila Odinga also, he has been in the academy of Raila Odinga. And remember, he has also competed against him, combined with Uhuru Kenyatta. Very tactful politicians, experience with money, and he won against them. So it's not that easy. We know, but that's why I tell you this is how you can remove him, not just by mere response. That if he speaks, you respond to him. You also need to do what we call meaningful meetings. You need to do meaningful engagements, and also try to engage the system, because
Okay.
the same system that's going to determine will become the president. So even you need to interfere with the system, because even him interfered with the system when he was outside. So remember.
Yeah.
So it's not a matter of responding to him or insulting him. Is you also have to move strategically. You know, politics is about strategy. If you don't have a strategy, politics, my friend, let me tell you today, no strategy, no winning. You can't just win from the clouds. You must win with the strategy.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Meguda. Let's pause again on the issue of political insults and exchange between the president and opposition. Let's look at ODM. There rift that is emerging, especially in ODM. The other day, I was watching some delegates from Western Kenya. They insist that they might not attend the SDC. This is a special delegate conference for ODM because they believe there's a court case that is pending. How is that one going to affect the event? And also the coastal leaders, including the governor for Mombasa, has said that if the DP position is going to be given to ODM, it should be for Joho. That is the reducible minimum that they are asking for. They saying that Joho or the people at the coast have always worked with Raila Amolo Odinga, and these are happening when they're just about few days to go to their SDC. What does this one mean? And before even you answer that, when you look at the photos of the people who are attending President William Ruto's rally, especially or development, majority of them are in the yellow caps, the UDA colors, as compared to ODM. And remember, these are ODM right now, where President William Ruto is touring, is ODM zone. What does that one speak? Does it mean that the UDA or the people who are organizing these rallies, the president team is more well organized than ODM?
Okay, Bro Benson, that's what I was telling previously, that it's about strategy. So the fact that he's moving in ODM stronghold, in the absence of the UDA members, and the Rift Valley is intact, there's no political activities going on in the Rift Valley, they are intact in UDA, and it's moving to the Luo Nyanza. And remember, it's moving to Luo Nyanza with developments. And this time round, he has actually even omitted going to Kisii and Nyamira. He has just concentrated in Luo Nyanza. That is what I'm trying to explain to you, that strategy. You must be strategic as a politicians. You want this support base. You want them to vote for you. Not only voting, but also you want them in the future war, whereby they will defend your victory. How do? You engage them into the development, and you engage their leaders at their level. So you come alone as a lone ranger, someone who is wounded, who needs soldiers. If you come with the full brigade from Rift Valley, be it Sudi, be it Farouk, be it Chariot, they will think that you have overpowered them. So you come as a wounded, someone who you want someone to assist you, someone who has lost hope. So you appeal to them, and you appeal to their emotions. And that's what I'm telling you. You cannot win with a strategy. You must have a strategy. And that's what William Ruto is having, a very tactful strategy towards the opponents. We might disagree, but remember, sometimes we also say that Raila's victory has been stolen. What prevents him from stealing opposition victory? What will prevent him from stealing opposition victory? Nothing can prevent you. And how do you steal? You steal if you have a strategy. Without strategy, you cannot steal. So I think, that's why he's saying, nitawamalizia mapema, because he knows very well he's moving tactical and strategic.
Yeah. Okay, but what is okay? Let me play this video as we welcome also Msimamo. Then you can have you can weigh your thoughts on it, especially from the Western Kenya leaders. This is what they are saying. Let me see. Let me just play it a little bit. Then you can also weigh your thoughts on it.
Delegate conference huitwa kuratify. You cannot petition anything. Sisi tumekuwa na mzozo toka papa na tulikuwa tumemaliza uchaguzi wa counties, we were waiting for NDC. It is premature kuitisha uchaguzi wa NDC wa special sitting ya special delegate conference on 27th, ambapo ruling inatakana ya tribunal ambayo tulienda kwa political parties inatakana tarehe 26. How I wish the party leader acting now, Dr. Oburu Odinga, could recall off that special delegate conference. Why? Because the party is in confusions. The party has wrangles. Mmoja anasema huku, mwingine anasema huku. Inatakana tarehe 26. How I wish the party leader acting now, Dr. Oburu Odinga, could recall off that special delegate conference. Why? Because the party is in confusions. The party has wrangles. Mmoja anasema huku, mwingine anasema huku. Ukiongea SG was served for long, yeye hajakataa kutoka, but let us follow the procedure of the party. Kwamba tukienda kwa NDC, Sifuna akitolewa hatutakataa, sababu itakuwa ni NDC wamekataa. But just a few people sitting together to plan how to remove others and replace others, that's not the procedure in ODM. How I wish the party leader acting, Dr. Oburu Odinga, follow the footsteps za Baba Raila Amolo Odinga. We are worried as elected leaders. If this is the procedure that you are being controlled from other quarters, even nomination of the party in the general elections will be a problem. We are also worried, even nominating people to be appointed in the party positions, itakuwa ni shida. So it is not late for you. I know that people who are maybe misadvising you how you can control the party, but can you can you recall this meeting of 27th turudi tukae chini as a party tungoje ruling ya 26th. Ikisha isha, we are ready to face NDC. We are ready and more than ready. And we are ready because we have our sons who are also going to face it. We have Edwin Sifuna who is going to defend as SG. Tuko na Osoti who is going to defend as the deputy party leader. Na tuko pia na Misi ambaye amekuwa deputy organizing secretary wa chama.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Miguda. That is what is happening in the political landscape, especially when it comes to the ODM as a political party. So much is taking place. Maybe you can react, then Musimamo also can say a word or two as we continue to have this conversation.
Oh, that is just dynamics, understand?
Yeah.
And each and every bird has a song. So let them sing whatever they're saying, relevancy. But at the end of the day, what we have to understand that the process will be two. You are either in the one of the camp. That must be understood. So this is a time of realignment, issues here and there, NDC, whatever. So it's part of politics. So I don't want to delve much into it right now.
Okay, thank you so much. Msimamo habari gani?
Mimi msimamo, namshukuru Mungu nipo. Sijui nyie ndugu zangu hapo, wewe pamoja na ndugu yangu hapo Miguda na wale wote ambao pia wanatufuatilia upande wa pili.
Mimi niko salama, na Miguda labda anaweza sema yake. Hello Miguda. Hapa Miguda tupati.
Anyway, naona nataka kucheza video labda kingine hapo, labda nisubirie kwanza wacheze alafu ndo na mimi niingie kati.
Okay, sawa sawa. Hebu wacha nicheze hii.
Inside the Orange Democratic Movement Party ahead of Friday's National Delegates Conference, with rival factions intensifying lobbying across the country. While a section of leaders from Western Kenya are threatening to boycott the conference, Coast leaders are using the moment to push for Cabinet Secretary Hassan Ali Joho to be considered for Deputy President's position in the 2027 general election. As Violet Auma reports, The developments now place ODM's leadership under growing pressure to contain internal rivalry.
ODM.
With only days to go before ODM's National Delegates Conference, the party is staring at a critical test of unity. In Western Kenya, a section of ODM grassroots leaders and delegates from 5 counties is threatening to boycott Friday's conference, terming it unconstitutional. Led by Vihiga ODM chairperson Zebedee Osabwa, the group claims that key leaders from the region, including Secretary General Edwin Sifuna, Senator Godfrey Osoti, and MP Kaliba Misi, have been sidelined.
Sisi kama wana ODM Western, we are not attending that meeting. Hiyo meeting hatuhudhurii sisi kwa sababu moja, wameguza watoto wetu watatu, Sifuna, Osoti na Kaliba Misi.
Baba had one slogan, and that slogan was, scatter none and gather all. How I wish that statement could be reconsidered.
The group now wants the party leader to postpone the conference until disputes surrounding Sifuna's removal are resolved.
Oburu angewacha hiyo mkutano ikae kwanza, angoje court ruling, tujue nini zafanyika, ndio aite hiyo SDC.
But another faction within the party has dismissed the threats. Kakamega Governor Fernandes Barasa, backed by Makadara MP George Aladwa, says internal disagreements should not be used to paralyze the party.
When somebody has decided to pursue a different political ideology, it is just good political order, not to continue causing confusion, is to walk away and support that other coalition.
Nawambia Ososi, akijaribu kuweka mkutano mwingine mbali na hiyo ODM, atakutana na sisi pia sisi. Asifikirie kwamba sisi tumelala. Hii NDC inafanywa Nairobi, haifanywi Vihiga kwake. Hii iko wapi? Nairobi. Na Nairobi tunataka NDC ngapi? Moja. Na ni ya ODM.
Even as boycott threats gather momentum in Western Kenya, a separate power play is unfolding at the coast. Leaders from the region, among them Mining and Blue Economy Cabinet Secretary Hassan Ali Joho, Mombasa Governor Abdulswamad Sharif Nasir, and Kilifi Governor Gideon Mungaro, are openly pushing for the coast region to produce a deputy president in 2027.
Nobody ataweza kuzima ndoto ya jimbo la Pwani. Haiwezekani. Ama namna gani? Ni nini ambao wao wanacho sisi hatuna? The irreversible minimum, pale ambapo kwamba hatutaki hivi wala hivi, ni deputy president of this country.
Ni makosa gani sisi watu wa Pwani kumjenga kijana wetu Ali Hassan Joho ambaye atakuwa deputy president of the Republic of Kenya 2027?
Roadbase tutaunga mkono na masharti, ndio? Kwamba kiti X yetu, kiti B yetu, kiti fulani tutakubaliana.
Barely 3 days before ODM's National Delegates Conference.
All right, asanteni sana my brothers and sisters. Umeona hapo what is taking place. There's this rift that is happening in ODM, especially the coastal are demanding their share. The Western Kenya also are saying that, okay, the quite a number who are not agreeing, and they said that they are going to not attend that NDC. And remember in Western Kenya, especially in Kakamega, there are 2 delegates. There are those who are not, especially in Kakamega County, there are those who are not supporting Baraza. There are those who are supporting Baraza. So that is what is happening. And we are waiting for, especially on that day, what will happen. Aladwa also has given a promise and told us very well that this is Nairobi. EEC Vihiga, we just only want one NDC. I don't know, they're confusing because it should not be a NDC, it should be a SDC. It's a special delegate conference. Or I don't know whether I'm the person who is getting it right, but they keep on telling us it is a NDC. I've heard them talking about NDC and SDC. So that is what is at stake at ODM as we speak right now, gentlemen. As they go for their NDC, what does this one mean, especially to ODM? When we're looking at the event on Friday, Msimamo.
Kaka, Mimi sina mambo mengi hapa ya kuzungumzia kwa sababu mgawanyiko bado utachipuka zaidi kwa ODM. Unajua, karibu wiki hii yote tumeshuhudia haswa Nyanza na viunga vyake, yani eneo zima lile, mambo ambayo yanafanyika kule, yani hakika kwamba viongozi wale ambao wa ODM na UDA wakiwa kule na ahadi zile ambazo zinaweza kuwekwa zikitimizwa, lakini vile vile pia viongozi wakizungumzia kila mbali kwamba hayo ndio manufaa ya broad based government ambayo wananchi wa Nyanza wanafaa kuweza kuyapata, maana ni kwa muda mrefu hawajaweza kupata haswa maendeleo kama hayo wala nafasi kama hiyo. Lakini kikubwa pia nao wanalilia hiyo position ya deputy president kwa sababu Wanga yuko pale, na nadhani hiyo nafasi ni kama imemwelekea kimtazamo wangu. Sasa turudi sasa katika uhalisia wa maneno, ujue kwamba mdomo ndio unaofunga ndio unaokomboa, ndugu zangu. Katika hii hali ya kuweza kunadi siasa Nyanza si vibaya, lakini sasa imeondoka sasa katika the original ODM stands. Unaona, sasa kila mtu ana demand, kwa sababu wao wamedemand, nao cost wana demand, na wengine pia watademand sehemu nyingine ndani ya hiyo ODM. So mvutano huu tusitafute ugonjwa mbali. Ugonjwa ni huyu jirani aliyoingia, huyu aliokaribishwa haswa na kuitwa ndugu, na sasa kuonekana yeye ndio mkombozi mpya na huu kuhuba ambao upo. Kwa nini? Asilimia kubwa pwani viongozi wetu wote wamesimama na misingi ya UDA. So it's like wanagonga gogo kusikiza mlio, na mwisho wa siku kila mtu atatimuka. Na hawa ambao tunakuta kwamba tunaona kwamba wana demand ndio ambao wataweza kutoka tuona kurudi UDA kimtazamo wangu, na watasema sisi tulikuwa na mapendekezo yetu ndani ya ODM lakini hayakutekelezwa. Mambo hayo yalitekelezwa upande mmoja peke yake Nyanza, wao ndio wamefaidi na sisi pia tumekataliwa. So katika hiyo hali hapa naona safari ya wengi wakienda haswa UDA, especially haswa mambo haswa pwani. Hawa viongozi wote wa ODM ambao wapo, mimi nasema kwamba wote wana dalili kubwa ya kuweza kurudi kwa chama cha UDA. Kwa mfano, tumeona kwamba imejitokeza kwamba haitaweza kusimamisha chochote kile, wao wataacha watu wa UDA. So it's like mwisho wa siku hiki chama kitabaki ile moja kama tulivyotabiri tangia awali kwamba kitabaki Luo Nyanza. Kwa sababu tayari kama ni upande wa Western tumeona kuna mvutano. Umaarufu wa Baraza na umaarufu wa Sifuna hatuwezi kulinganisha. Unaona? So already kwamba kule tunajua haswa kule wanasimama na nani kama ni Western. So kiukweli ni kwamba mwisho wa siku hii karata itabaki Luo Nyanza, na maendeleo kama tulivyoona kwamba wao ndio waasisi, ODM imetoka kwao, wao ndio chama, lakini mwisho wa siku jamaa watatimka kwa sababu kila mtu atataka fair share, na viongozi hapo wamedemand kwamba we need fair share.
Yes.
So hii kitu ya fair share ndio mwisho wa siku wala atakuwa hasa hawajapata hiyo share inayozungumziwa, basi watafuta nyumba ya kujificha. Na kweli ninavyoona haswa kimtazamo wangu haswa hili la Joho, hii ni safari ya kuweza kuwagana sasa na kuwapa kujaribu kuenda na hapa wa viongozi ili kusudi kama hawatapewa hii nafasi maybe ya kuweza kutoa makamu wa rais, basi watatafuta nyumba ambao wataweza kukaa. Maana sema ODM ni kweli tulitoa mapendekezo yetu, lakini kana kwamba sisi hatupatilizwi. So ni mpango uko hapa. Kwa hiyo huyu jirani aliyokuja haswa kaja, lakini kaja ndio na haya maendeleo na power, lakini tukumbuke chama keswa kinaelekea wapi. Je, umaarufu huu ambao ulikuwa na chama utazidi ama kitaonekana ni chama ambacho sasa ni Waluo ambao wameamua kuungana na Waluo, wameamua kuungana na Wakale na wameamua kutengeneza serikali, then hawa wengine watakuwa wapi? Kanga wenye chongo. So wajiuliza wa viongozi wa ODM, ndio maana nasema warudi drawing board. Bado ni mapema. Bado ni mapema. Haswa huo mkutano wa Ijumaa, warudi drawing board, walete wafuasi wao wote, wakae, wasikizane maono, wakae chini. Hii kwamba tayari meli shangwa nanga na wako safarini, watakwenda, lakini mwisho wa siku watakwenda kujipata meli hii ndani haina abiria. Mimi nitaachia hapo, asante.
Okay, asante sana. Na ukikumbuka hata jana wakati ambapo kulikuwa na pale mkutano wa jamii kwa pale kwa kina Raila Amolo Odinga, kuna jambo ambayo Ruth Odinga alisema kwamba hichi chama kinafaa kibaki katika kwa Jaramogi Oginga Odinga. Na sasa tunaona pia watu wa Mombasa ndio wamesema kweli sisi hakuna jambo ambalo tunataka tu tuseme kwamba deputy president itakuwa aje. Wacha nikuambie jana ni mkuu Ruth Odinga jambo alisema, the ODM party leadership should remain within Odinga family. Oburu is the party leader and if he is tired of ODM leadership he should leave it to Raila Jr. Even I can be a party leader but it is not going anywhere else. Hayo ni msimamo wa Ruth Odinga. Na unaona haya mambo ambayo inatokea, wale ambao ni wa viongozi kutoka Western Kenya wanasema hapana, jambo hili inafaa kwanza, kabla tujaenda kwa mkutano mkuu, inafaa sisi wenyewe tuongee, tujue pale shida ipo, ndio tuende tusubiri kidogo. Na vile vile watu wa Coast pia wanasema sisi tutaenda, lakini iendapo kwamba tutakuwa tunapata nyadhifa itakuwa wa deputy president. Na unaona hiyo kitawezekana? Na kama ili mzozo lipo, faida gani labda sasa tunasema kwamba ODM inaletea President William Ruto? Haya.
Kaka mimi wacha nikwambie kweli. Kwanza kauli ya kusema kibaki katika familia ya Odinga, mimi sio ni jambo la tija. Kwa sababu muhimu ni ukuaji wa chama ule ambao ulikuwa upo kasi ile. Na uongozi haupangwi na mwanadamu, unapangwa na Mungu. Ikiwa ODM watakaa chini waone kwamba hiki chama kuna mtu ambaye ataweza kukisimamia vizuri katika legacy ile baba ambayo alikuwa nayo, na akipiga mshindo watu wanamsikiza, watu wanatoka kwa ajili ya kuweza kusimama kwa ajili ya taifa, kwa sababu hiyo ndio misingi ya ODM. Ina haja gani kwamba lazima kibandikwe muhuri kwamba lazima kiwe chama cha familia? Na kama kitakuwa chama cha familia, je, wale pia hawatapendezwa na hilo? Itakuwaje? So kwa kila jambo ambalo sasa hivi nimefikia, ODM ni kwamba imeyumba, kwa sababu mahali ilipoingia ilipotia uguu sipo. Na sipo kwa sababu wengi wa wananchi ni ile basi tu, kwa sababu viongozi wamewaziri na ni watu wao, pengine watu wa nyumbani na ni watu wa karibu. But for him, ODM mimi kimtazamo wangu wana chance ya kuweza kufanya huu mkutano wa Ijumaa kuwa ni mkutano utakaoshangaza hili taifa, kwa kuweza kutoka sasa na maneno yale ambayo yanategemewa haswa na mwananchi, kusimama pale ambapo wanasimama haswa kidedea. Hii swala kwamba ni power, sisi tuko hapa, tulifanywa hivi, tukafanywa vile, na this time around seems like inaletwa katika ujamii. Na kama zikiletwa katika ujamii, kuna huo mzozano sasa wa familia, sema hatuachilii hiki chama kitabaki hapa hapa. Kwani Luo Nyanza hakuna viongozi wanaoendeleza hiki chama, lazima familia tu. So kwa kweli mimi sina usemi kaka hapo. Lakini unaweza karibisha jirani akawa na neema, na ukakaribisha jirani mambo yakaharibika zaidi. So lazima uangalie, na pia unaweza oa mambo yakaharibika zaidi. Tofauti na kabla hujaoa. So hizi ndoa hizi tuziangalie, hii ndoa hii mimi nitaachia pale kaka, lakini kwa kweli ODM mimi ni chama nilichokijali, nilichokipenda, kilikuwa chama changu cha damu haswa, nifuata nifanye maamuzi ya kutoka ODM. So nikiona ODM inayumba, si bado zile chembe na muhemko bado upo. Na nitakizungumza ODM mtake mtu mpaka nione kwamba kweli imeshindikana, lakini kweli wa mambo ni huo kaka Benson na ni Ben kwamba ODM wakae ni Friday. Badala waangalie vyeo, waangalie kwamba wanaondoa huyu, wanapunguza huyu, wanafanya hivi. The more wanafanya hivyo, the more wanashusha thamani hiki chama. The more wanampa ule mwenye ambaye hakitaki mazuri chama cha ODM na yuko tayari kusambaratisha nafasi na mbavu. Kwa sababu urafiki wa sasa hivi tu wakula na kusaza si urafiki. Rafiki ni yule ambaye unapambana na hali yako, lakini ukiwa mgonjwa anakuja na kushughulikia, anakumandikia maji, anakupeleka hospitali. Huyo ndo rafiki. Lakini vile vile pia mwenye kukusaidia zaidi ni yule ambaye anakupa ndoana, anakupa na chambo, anakuambia hivi ndivyo unavyovua samaki, si akupe samaki.
Na tuseme kauli, unajua leo nilikuwa nasikia president akizungumza kwamba we will form a broad based government. The same say wanasema kwamba tumeform grade based government, na ODM pia wanakuja these are our reducible minimums. And when you are bringing all reducible minimums, then you do not have, your house is not in order. You don't have that solid support. Especially from your house. Like they are looking at it like, okay, ODM has quite a number of members of parliament, especially in all over the country, than giving numbers that they have in the house currently, and they are begging their negotiation on that due to the numbers that we have. Yet going forward, they do not have that solid base amongst the leadership. There are those wrangles. Ruto atawachukuaje serious?
Let me tell you the truth, brother. Unajua sema kweli mpenzi, sema kweli ni mpenzi wa Mungu. It has majority of members. But our members, it was under whose leadership first? Tumefuliwa juzi, hatujaenda election, tukaona kweli wanaweza pata hii members wenye wanayezungumzia. Kwa sababu wakati ule members ndio, kwa sababu kulikuwa na kiongozi ambaye alikuwa na tija, kiongozi ambaye alikuwa na kijali chama, lakini pia alikuwa anaonyesha ule kwamba ana utaifa ndani yake. Ndio maana tulipata hawa majority na members. But tusisabu ODM ni chama kina members wengi, kwa sababu akijaenda uchaguzi sasa hivi. We do want to see 2027 now, tukirudi hapa Mungu roho zikiwa hai, tuone kweli bado je kimeweza kupikwa vyama vingine vyote na kuweza kuwa na majority ya members na vyama na viti. Wacha tutaona 2027 hapo ndo tutasema kweli chama kweli haswa ni kikubwa. Lakini sasa hivi tunachukua sifa ya mwenda zake, ndio ambao tunaibandika kwa idadi kwamba ni chama kikubwa kutoka hapa kufikia hapo. Lakini ili kiwe kikubwa tunavyokinadi, kilipikwa wapi? Nani alikuwa anakisimamia ndio kikao kikubwa? Nao mwenye kusimamia hayupo, na mwenye mwachiwa hapo hamuelewani. Huyu ana yake, huyu ana yake, huyu ana yake. Itakuwaje tena hapa tuseme kwamba hiki chama kina udalili haswa wa kuweza kuwa chama kikubwa kama kilivyokuwa? So hii narrative ya kwamba tunaitumia kwamba ODM ni chama kikubwa, have a lot of majority of members of numbers of na viti, tunajidanganya, kwa sababu mwenye kushikilia hiyo majority na numbers ODM ilikuwa imetulia, ilikuwa na minong'ono, lakini chini ya carpet, chini ya maji huko ilikuwa hatuwezi jua kwamba ni nini haswa. Kitambo likizuka mambo yashatengenezwa. Si hii mvutano ambao sasa hivi wapwani wanavuta upande wao, Western wanavuta upande wao, wengine nao wanavuta upande wao, alafu bado tunasema kwamba hapa tuna matumaini ya majority of members ama viti majority, tutakuwa na viti vingi haswa katika taifa. Ben, mimi hapo sijaingia vizuri, kwa sababu nataka kuona under leadership ya Oburu ama yule ambaye atateuliwa rasmi kwamba atashikilia hiki chama, nione kweli amekifikisha mahali baba amekifikisha, ama ashasa pass pale mahali baba alipokuwa kwa kuweza kutengeneza members wengi, ndo tutakisifu chama cha ODM kwamba ni chama kikubwa. Lakini kwa sasa hivi kilikuwa kikubwa, ni chama kilikuwa kikubwa na members wengi wakati huo, si sasa hivi.
Okay. Alright, ndugu yangu, unajua sasa muda wangu pia inayoyoma. Leo tulianza mapema sana. Labda kauli yako ya mwisho nitaka kukuuliza kwamba unasikia rais anisema kwamba Tuju alikuwa anadanganywa, anafaa kuwe na marafiki wazuri We kwako vipi? Labda tukifunga ya mwisho kabisa.
Ya, amesema Tuju amekuwa
amesema Tuju should have honest friends
like him.
Hapana, mimi hapo sasa sijui, labda kama yeye wenye wanamwambia ukweli.
You know, sometimes let's call a spade a spade. Tusiseme ni kijiko kubwa hii. Hii sarakasi ya Tuju. In fact, wakuwa mstari wa mbele basi ingekuwa ni serikali. Mahakama tunazo. Mahakama kesi imefanywa nje huko. Ndio imeletwa hapa. Kuna mambo hayaendi sawa. Wacha yapelekwe katika hali ya usawa. Wacha hii iwe na fair. At least tuone kwamba pia imewajibika, at least mtu wetu asije akakosa mtoto na tena hiyo mbeleko nayo akakosa. Unasikia babu, ndugu yangu Benson, Tuju ni wetu, ni kiongozi, amesimama hapa, amesaidiana na hili taifa, amekaa katika nyadhifa tofauti katika hili taifa. Kwa hiyo kama kuna mambo amekwenda, ndio kuna agreement wamefanyiana na hiyo hajaweza kulipa fine, but still yeye ni mtu wetu. Kwa kama kiwanja na mali yenye iko pale ndani ya kiwanja, thamani ya kiwanja haimezidi thamani ya mali, lazima tuangalie at least tuone kwamba pia serikali imeweza kusimama na mahakama zetu kisawasawa, kuona kwamba at least haezi kosa mtoto na mbeleko pia akakosa. Labda akikosa mtoto lakini at least mbeleko aweze kupata, but ile halina dalili. Lakini kwa sababu limekuja wakati mbaya, linataka kuvuruga mazima mapenzi ya Nyanza, dhago wamekuja na hii kauli kwamba Tuju ana wrong ana marafiki wabaya. Na angekuwa na marafiki wazuri, kwa sababu yeye angesema mimi niko kwa broad based government, I'm sure hatungeweza kuona sasa hivi timu na angemiliki hii hoteli, kwa sababu ili jambo sila leo sila jana sila juzi. Na ukifuatilia kwamba haswa wale ambao wanaimezea mate pia hoteli hii, unakuta sometimes kama labda ni bloggers na mambo ya uongo na mambo mengine, ni watu ambao wako haswa katika hili taifa ambao wanaimezea mate hii. Ndio chanzo haswa chimbuko hili, kwa sababu mwisho wa siku itaishia katika mikono yao. So hapa tunadanganywa haswa, kwa sababu ukweli kwamba mambo yataharibika kama Tuju atapelekwa alikuwa anapelekwa, mambo yataharibika. Huku ambao tumeuona juzi Nyanza na miradi, hautakwenda huku. Mwananchi hata angalia hapa, ataangalia ni nini ambacho kiko mbele yangu. Na ndio maana nasema ni urafiki ambao mwisho wa siku tutakuja kutamana kule mbele, baada ya kwamba mambo yashakwenda, kwa sababu sasa hivi kishaumana. Unajua tuna msemo nikimalizia kwamba kikishikwa kina malizi yake na kikiachiliwa kina malizi yake. Sasa hiki kimeshikwa kina malizi yake, lakini tusubiri pale mwisho kitakapokuja kuachiliwa, je, kitaliaje? Asante.
Asante sana kakangu. Kesho tutakuwa na mazungumzo hii mambo ya tuko kadi, na utaona kama tuko kadi itakuwa ni njia moja ambapo Kenya yetu ama nchi yetu itakuwa inapata ukombozi. Hayo tutazungumzia hapo kesho, na yale ambayo yatakuwa yanachipuka katika kisiasa, kwa sababu ni mambo sasa imeshika kasi sana katika eneo mbalimbali za nchi. Wa vijana wadogo watu wanaenda
lakini niko kadi si pia kiongozi wetu wa taifa, na yeye pia niko kadi.
Amesema hivyo. Tunataka kusema italeta mafanikio ama italeta upinduzi wa uongozi katika nchi.
Italeta kama itafanywa katika njia ambao hao vijana watakuwa wamejipanga kisawasawa, na wachukue kweli kadi zile, wajipange na tuwe na unanimous vote, italeta mabadiliko. Shida ni kwamba who are we dealing with? Hiyo ndio swali lazima tujiuliza. Hiyo tu ndio swali nataka tujiulize, who are we dealing with? Ni mtu ambaye anayumba, then tukipata hilo jibu, alafu hawa vijana waendelea sio kuyafanya yale ambayo wanawafanya. Na si hawa vijana tu, kila Mkenya anafaa sasa kuwa na kadi yake haswa, ili kusudi haswa tulitimize hili kwa njia ambayo itakuwa sawa. Kaka, mimi acha nikuache, alafu nimjibu dada yangu hapa. Amesema msimamo kidogo naelekea na kijina fundo, maana unaona endelea nikipata mbavu, lakini unajua ni ulevi huu, ni kama ulevi huu. Mimi nisipokuwa show sijisikia amani kabisa, kwa sababu hapa ndio nimepata ndugu zangu, nimepata everything. Nilikuwa lonely, nimezaliwa mimi tu, So since nikiwa hapa kwa show nimegundua kwamba kumbe hata kuzaliwa peke yako si tatizo. Unaweza tengeza na ndugu, ukakaa na marafiki. Sometimes hapa na yani nimekuwa na marafiki na ndugu kiasi kwamba najisikia amani zaidi. Ndio maana papa hapa. So msimamo sipachukulii padogo tu hapa, na pachukulia kwamba yani katika maisha yangu sehemu moja yangu ya maisha yangu. Asante.
Okay. Asante sana ndugu yangu, kesho najua tutaongea, lakini pia jana ulikuwa umesema unanitafuta, ni kama ulikuwa umeenda ukasahau. Sasa hebu tuongee nyuma ya tent wenye ulisema jana. Kwa hayo machache, wacha nichukue nafasi hii kushukuru Judith na Paulo, kwa wale watu ambao wote walikuwa wanatutazama na wakupata nafasi ya kuandika pale katika comment section. Pia tunasema asante, hadi kesho tukutane muda huu hapa hapa. Asanteni sana.